All right, let's get ready. Example E. This one is a little bit longer. So we have two lunch boxes there. It wants to know which lunchbox can hold more food. Okay, well, I've been doing this long enough. I know that a lot of students are going to just say, B looks bigger, it's B, and then put their answer and move on. Okay, or A. It doesn't really matter if you're just guessing. Okay, that's not what I want you to do. So we put in part B. How much more food? That way you do have to find the volume of both, and you have to tell me what's the difference between them. Okay, so that means there's going to be some subtraction. All right, so let's get started. So, which lunchbox can hold more food? Let's start by finding the volume of A. Okay. It is a rectangular prism. You can't really see you can't see through it, but there's the base. And our volume, this is lunchbox A. Volume equals big B times H. This is our H over here, which we will get to in a little bit. Big B is the area of the base. So the area of the base is a rectangle, so that's going to be base times height. Base is 7.5 times the height is 3.5, and now we need to multiply those two together. 7.5 times 3.5. I don't know that off the top of my head, so I have to come over here. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 2 is 37. 0. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. And add this all up. It's 5, 12, 6, and 2. Okay, and I have two numbers behind the decimal, so the decimal needs to go right there. So that is 26.25. That is my big B. Now that big B is going to come right over here. And the height is 10. So now, I'm sorry guys, I wish I'd made this a little bit more neat and organized. I know I'm always asking y'all. Alright, so now I have 26.25 times 10. If you were paying attention in one of the earlier examples, I told you multiplying by 10 is awesome. It's super easy. If there's a decimal, all you have to do is move it one time to the right. If there isn't a decimal, all you have to do is add a 0 on the end. Well, this one has a decimal, so I just move it one time to the right, and the volume is 262.5. So, lunchbox A is 262.5. Okay, now let's look at lunchbox B. Volume equals big B times H. Big B is the area of the base. That's going to be right in there. That's base times height. The base is 9.5 times the height is 3.5. Okay, I need to do that multiplication. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 2 is 47, put a 0. 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 is 28. Add this all up. And I get 33.25. I have two numbers behind the decimal, so my decimal needs to go right there. 33.25. Now that comes over here. That's where big B is. Sorry about that. Okay. 33.25 times the height, which is 8. Oh, that would have been nice if it was 10 too, but nope, didn't get that lucky. Okay, so now I need to do that multiplication. I have 33.25 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2 is 26. 8 times 3 again is 24, plus 2 is 26. And my decimal goes right there. So, my volume for this one is 266. I could even say 266.0 if I wanted to. Normally, I wouldn't do that. You'll see why I did it in a second. So this one is 266.0. So which lunchbox holds more food? Well, B holds a little bit more. 266 is bigger than 262 point anything. So lunchbox B wins. And part B, how much more? It wins, but by how much? Well, I need to subtract them. So whenever you are subtracting with decimals, you have to line up the decimals. That's why I put 0.0, because this one had a decimal, but this one didn't. So 266.0 minus 262.5. Okay, I need to borrow. This is going to be 10, and this is going to be 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. Here's my decimal. 5 minus 2 is 3. 0 and 0. So, it can hold 3.5 more cubic inches. So, yes, it's bigger, but just by a tiny bit. Okay, you have one similar to that for the your turn. Now, on this your turn that you have, okay, the first question, a manufacturing company is switching from box A to box B to package a product. What is the increase in volume of the package? You have to do that. Okay, that's just like the last part of that last example. You have to tell how much more volume this one has than this one. But this part down here, this is a bonus question. Number 5 you have to do, but the bonus is up to you. Okay, it's asking you what is the percent increase. We haven't done that in a while, but, you know, hey, if you remember, you get some extra points. But I'm not going to count it if you just looked it up on the internet and put the number in there. I have to see your work. Okay, go ahead and finish up this assignment. Make sure to take a picture of your work and put it in there, and then submit.